somebody, it's me. I'm down here. Woohoo, woohoo. Hey. Okay, okay, let me just real quick,
That was an adventure. All right, so Ant-Man, now a major motion picture, and I gotta say, what a stupid idea, am I right? I mean, I think Marvel is really digging deep. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and they found ants. I feel bad for them. Even the Ant-Man movie seems embarrassed of its title, seeing as how it apologizes for it in the trailer twice.
I know. Wasn't my idea.
I mean, having a character that's named after a bug doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't they go with the more conventional sounding superhero like, I don't know, Spider-Man or Sandman? Basically, what I'm saying here is Ant-Man, of all the characters, is just completely unworthy of the budget of a major motion picture. Or is it? Here are 5 facts that you might not know about Ant-Man. Number 1. Okay, clearly I was kidding in that intro if you guys haven't picked up on the sarcasm that sometimes spews from my face when I'm on YouTube. Because honestly, I think it's about time that they've made an Ant-Man movie. But the hatred for Ant-Man runs deep. Don't believe me? Then check this out. Did you know that a little over 3 years ago, today exactly, Nathan Fillion, star of Firefly, of course, and that show Castle, which I haven't watched, but I'm sure it's superb. He was asked by a fan what he would think about potentially playing Ant-Man in the future. Not that he was offered the role, but maybe because Joss Whedon was involved, I don't know. His response was that he would never play Ant-Man. The reason was not the obvious one, probably never be asked to play Ant-Man, except for maybe in, I don't know, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. No. His reason was that Ant-Man was, quote, not a cool superhero, and that he just wouldn't be excited to play that character. He then proceeded to make fun of Ant-Man, putting his hands over his mouth and going, "Hey, I'm Ant-Man, come on, ants, come and follow me, I'm Ant." I guess Nathan Fillion was holding out for his opportunity to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a character that was as exciting to play as Monstrous Inmate in Guardians of the Galaxy. Was that something that excited you, Nathan? Huh? I hope so. I really hope so. Number 2. Well, Ant-Man is cool, despite what Nathan Fillion said in the last fact. I'm still steaming over. And he is very much worthy of a film. Why? Because he is actually one of the founding members of a little superhero group called the Avengers. That's right, Ant-Man and his girlfriend, the Wasp, were 2 of only 5 original members. The others including Thor, Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk. So Captain America may have been the first Avenger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in the comic books, Ant-Man all the way. Of course, Captain America did join the Avengers once he was thawed out and not frozen anymore, but that is another facts episode. Number 3. Before the Avengers got started, Ant-Man showed up for the first time in comic book history in an issue called The Man in the Anthill. This comic sold so well that they decided to make Hank Pym, the character who had turned himself into a small man, into a recurring character. Unfortunately, people never seemed to take interest in the character, and he lost a lot of popularity. Stan Lee, the guy who arguably came up with many of the Marvel characters that we know and love, has his own theory as to why Ant-Man never took off the way other characters did. He said that because of the way Ant-Man works, because he's small, whenever they would draw him, they wouldn't put some sort of frame of reference, so if they just drew him on a tabletop, he would say, hey, put a matchbox or something next to him, and then you're like, oh, he's as small as a matchbox. Stan Lee said the artist would continuously forget to do this, and because of that, Ant-Man was not a success. Saying, quote, so when you would look at the panels, you thought you were looking at a normal guy wearing an underwear costume. See, Mom? Normal guys do wear underwear costumes. Number 4. Did you know that Marvel has actually been working on an Ant-Man movie since the late 1980s? Stan Lee originally pitched the idea, but it was shot down because Disney had just recently released Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But I gotta say, that's a pretty dumb reason. I mean, since when have studios been afraid to copy other studios whenever it comes to making movies about ants? See what I did there? Because ants and... yeah. Oh, you got it? Okay. Number 5. In the comic books, Hank Pym was the one who discovered the chemical substance, which ended up being called Pym Particles, named after its discoverer. And these Pym Particles come into play when it comes to sciencey things a lot in the Marvel comic book universe. It's what gives him the ability to shrink down in size. He also used the Pym Particles on his girlfriend slash wife slash ex-wife, Janet Van Dyne, who becomes the Wasp and his partner in fighting crime. She was also a useful character as a sidekick to ask the questions that the audience may be asking. It's kind of a thing that comic books tend to do, where they create like a sidekick and then the sidekick can be like, "Hey Batman, what's that over there?" "Well, Robin, I'll tell you what, that's this thing." Because they can't like just turn and look directly at the audience and tell them, "It can't be done, Deadpool." Just kidding, it can be done with Deadpool. He does that. It's pretty funny. Pym Particles are also used whenever Hank Pym becomes his other alter ego, Giant Man, which by the name you could tell that's whenever he's not super small, but rather when he's super big. Have you guys ever noticed that Giant Man has the word AntMan in it? You think that was on purpose? I don't know. I tried to find it, couldn't find anything about it. What do I look like? Some guy who knows a lot of facts about movies or something? The end. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of MovieFacts. Had a super big time. Big time. Hey, if you like this episode, check out the other episodes that I have on this channel. But also I have a second channel called Say Goodnight Kevin. It's linked right there, something maybe. Give that a look-see and see what you think if you want to hear me talk about just random stuff, or I also do some movie reviews from time to time. Check that out. That's all I gotta say for today. Hope you guys loved the episode. I'm Kevin, and those are the facts.